You spoke about Lil Rodney C.
Yes.
But you got another high profile baby daddy, if you will.
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo. How'd that relationship, how did you two even link?
Well, D'Angelo and I got connected by way of Jocelyn Cooper, who was signing us both as songwriters. When I was in the studio with Vertical Hole at the time, when D'Angelo came into the studio. But I have you to know that, and I'm going to have everybody know because I want to set the record straight. He pursued me. I did not pursue him. I thought he was older than what he was because he had an old soul. And anybody that's hanging around him long enough will attest to that is the truth. I mean, we just hit it off musically because we were both from the South. And I think it was something familiar about our energy that clicked. And once we became friends, he decided, I'm going to stay in New York. At one point, he was going to move back to Virginia. But he says, I'm going to stay in New York, you know what I mean? Because now I got somebody around who I can relate to. And it just happened to be me. At the time, we were just the best of friends. As time grew, we ended up falling for each other. All I can tell you is shit happens. And when it happened, I was okay with it because I loved his energy and his spirit. Over time, I can tell you honestly that I have been disappointed. I have been let down. I have watched the world basically spin on its axle and turn its back on me because of D'Angelo, because their love and desire was so great for him that they were able to spit on me pretty much. And so I had to take it with a grain of salt and keep moving. Because when people zoom in on you to bring about their pain, they don't care how they hurt you to get it done. But like I said, it happened. And I can't go back. I can't undo it. I told the people, they make such a big deal. Okay, I was a little older than him, but that's going every day. People get with people every day. That's a little older than them, and they keep it moving. Why did they make a big deal out of he and I couldn't tell you. I can only say the minute he decided to become a sex symbol or the industry cultivated a sex symbol, I became dog meat to them. And that was, 4 years prior to that, we were the best of friends. But after that, it was just like, she too old for him. She does. I wasn't old when I was trying to help him get through the studio work. I wasn't old when I was trying to get them albums finished. I wasn't old when I was writing them hits with them. I wasn't none of that. It was only after he had arrived. It's like, okay, let's get rid of her. She's dead weight now. And that's what I literally believe has happened in time. But guess what? The love of Christ have kept me all this time. And I don't care what they say and do. It is what it is.
That's right. That is right, Angie. It's crazy because I didn't realize that through your vantage point, through your lens, you felt like the industry turned on you for having that relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something. And I won't, yes, I will. Let me tell you something. I can remember going to sit down to do an interview with Vibe magazine. And I had the young lady who was interviewing me look at me, and she went in on me being older than him. But right after that, she let me know she was, kicking it with him too. And it was basically a hateful, jealous interview that like, okay, you might have him, but I want you to know, he's all over me too. And I ran into a lot of people, a lot of females that worked for these labels and industries that kind of threw me under the bus because if their job was to interview Angie Stone, in my opinion, their job was to basically do a bum job of my interview so that they could really poke at me. And I had to deal with that.
I welcome you guys back on here. If you're new, consider subscribing, liking, and also share this video. So Angie Stone often spoke with warmth and honesty about her deep connection with D'Angelo. So this comes actually after a couple of days ever since we lost one of the legendary R&B singers, that is D'Angelo, who passed away just a few days ago. And of course, so many people on the internet had actually sparked discussions that were related to D'Angelo and the relationship he had with the popular artist, that is Angie Stone, who passed away at the beginning of this year, 2025. Both as a creative partnership, um, Angie Stone actually, we all know they made music. She made music with D'Angelo, and of course, even they had a personal relationship, having two kids. And of course, their relationship began in the early 1990s when D'Angelo was still a shy 19-year-old musician, and Stern was already an established artist and a songwriter. She described him as a genius who didn't need anyone to make him who he was, but of course, she admitted that their love and artistic chemistry naturally influenced each other. According to Angie Stern, their 4-year-old relationship was one where they started, to become each other, and of course, sharing not only affection but also musical habits and creative instincts. But of course, in one of the interviews, Angie Stan revealed that so many women were jealous towards her, most especially the reporters who actually, in one of the interviews, she said that there was a female reporter, a young lady, who, instead of doing her work of interviewing her, she had to reveal to Angie Stan that she was in love with D'Angelo. They were already in the relationship, and of course, the interview, Angie remained professional, but this interview was really work, like it was full of hate, and of course, it transpired all over, even in the media, where so many people in the media actually didn't want her to be with D'Angelo, that she was not deserving, she was not that beautiful, she was not that cute, she was not a model, and stuff like that. So, Angie played an important role in D'Angelo's early confidence and self-image, and she recalled that when they met, he wore glasses and had short hair and dressed like a typical teenager, a far cry, from the sensual icon. So many people saw. Creatively, their partnership produced, several songs, and of course, they co-wrote a couple of songs, and then. This is actually what even shaped D'Angelo's early sound, including Increasing and Jones in My Bones, and so many other songs. So we are praying for the two who actually passed on, and of course, we are praying for their family as you're waiting for the funeral and memorial service updates for D'Angelo. Rest in power, King, and of course, also rest in power, the Queen, Angie Stone.